two hard-looking men with dark suits and Japanese features. She frowned and checked the transit map. As she suspected, the station was on the edge of the dragon's territory. "They look like street soldiers to you?" she asked Aza. "Definitely. Want me to burn them?" She'd expected the comment. Burning was her partner's first solution to every problem. Kate ignored it. "I've got a bad feeling about this, Aza." She watched the newcomers as they scanned the car, clearly looking for potential trouble. She covered her mouth and whispered the spell to amp up her muscles and senses, just in case. Coffee breath and oil from the car collided with the slight ozone smell from the electrical feed to the train. Before Aza managed to reply, the door connecting her train car to the one behind it banged open. Her eyes flicked toward it as two figures shoved their way through. Several of the nearest passengers flinched away. The street soldiers spun toward the new arrivals and drew short blades from under their coats. They weren't interested in hand-to-hand combat, though, and raised pistols they'd pulled from behind their legs, holding them at arm's length. Kate reacted instantly, creating force bubbles around both groups of men to lock them, and, hopefully their bullets, away from the crowd in the car. Screams barraged her ears, so she had to shout, "U.S. Marshal! Everyone move to the front of the train, out of this car immediately!" People flowed around her as they followed her orders, but she kept her concentration on the locked-down combatants. Neither seemed interested in testing the shimmering shields that covered them. For a moment, the situation appeared salvageable. Then another pair appeared from behind the two intruders she'd captured. Kate recognized one of them instantly, as they'd met on a rooftop not too long before. "You!" she growled. The wizard grinned as if fate had given him a present. He flicked his wand and her shields shattered. Guns went off, and she slammed a force protection around herself, creating a barrier between the attackers and the retreating civilians. Both presumed dragon soldiers had rushed forward when her barrier dropped, and they fell to the gunfire, blood oozing from their abdomens. She dismissed drawing her pistol. Even though it was loaded with anti-magic bullets, the potential for a ricochet was significant. Despite her skill, she knew it would be wiser to wait until the car was empty of innocents. Kate hurled a blast of force magic with both hands. It slammed the two gun-wielders back into the other late-arriving magical, who was launching his own attack. His fireball struck the roof and spread out rather than punching through, setting the advertisements along each side of the car aflame. She snarled a curse and waved her left hand, using her wand bracelet to spill frost over the flames. With her right, she reached out telekinetically and grabbed the familiar wizard's wand. He was quick enough to solidify his grip, but her yank pulled him off balance. She darted ahead, carefully dodging the thrashing limbs of the two bleeding men in dark suits, and delivered a simple front kick. Her amped muscles sent him flying backward and upward. He crossed the 6 feet to the car's rear in only a moment. His head smacked off the metal, and he crumpled, falling forward onto his face with a satisfying crunch. She spun into a back fist, slamming her knuckles into the nearest pistol wielder's temple. He went down, dazed. The other wizard dispatched lightning at her, and she snapped up an extra force shield to defend against it, extending it to protect the fallen dragons. Her foe sustained the attack as he backed out of the car, followed by the gunman, who was still upright, who fired several rounds her way before leaving. They struck her shield and deflected off, most of their velocity lost. Didn't anticipate fighting a magical, which makes it all the less impressive that they brought along their own. Good tactics, but hardly fair. She must have let her thoughts slip again because Aza replied, "I don't think they're inclined to be fair. I wouldn't be in their position." She looked over her shoulder to verify no civilians remained in the car and said, "Jump out so you can watch over these people." The necklace slipped from around her throat and turned into the dragon as it fell toward the floor. By the time he landed, he was the size of a corgi and still growing. She hit the emergency button on her phone and Sabrina instantly answered, "I'm here." Thank goodness for signal amplification in the tunnels. "Subway, gang fight, magicals involved. Got my location?" "I have it. I'll send backup." She looked down. "And ambulances. Multiple gunshot wounds. Yours?" Neither giver nor a taker this time, but it's still early.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.